Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. I do a series of videos here where I make a cabochon out of rocks that I buy and purchase. Although on this video here, I have a rock that was donated by Doris out in Pennsylvania. Got herself a cool looking piece of Buddstone, kind of like a green jade. Let's make a cabochon. So what we got here is a piece of Buddstone. I think it says African jade. And Doris from Pennsylvania generously donated to me this here and some other rocks. But this one here is, I really think this stuff is really pretty. So we'll get this piece wet. The green is just intense on this. It's almost like a neon green, I would think. Looks pretty good. This piece kind of thin because the piece wasn't very big. But the other piece, I can do something with that. But yeah, check that out. So what we're going to do here, I decided I'm going to do a teardrop. And, well, I ain't going to be doing nothing if I keep getting stone wet. My marker won't stick to it. Hang on. I got to grab a paper towel. And get this stone dried off here so we can mark on it. There we go. All right, so I was going to do a teardrop. I've been kind of practicing beforehand. I'm absolutely not prepared here. My marker was on the other table. All right. So I'm thinking this one here, probably about like that. I use an ultrafine Sharpie. So mark this out here. There. So we'll take this downstairs in the trim saw. I'll trim it out. I think I might have enough left over on this side. Maybe make another cab. I don't know. And after the trim saw, we'll take over the cabber and we'll grind it down to the lines here. Put it on a dop stick and make a cabochon out of it. So I'll meet you downstairs. Okay, we're on my 5-inch high-tech trim saw. Got the rock here. We're going to trim off this excess. The more you trim, the less you grind, but you just got to be careful how close you get to the edges here. All right, got it trimmed up. I think that's all the closer I'm going to get. See you over on the cabber. Okay, we're down here on the Kingsley North 6-inch cabber here. I got this piece of jade. So we're going to take it on the 80 grit right here. We're going to grind it down close to the line. And then we'll go to the line on the 220 and then clean it up, the scratches of 220 on the 280. And then we'll put a dop stick on it, and then we'll make cab out of it. So let's get started. All right, that's close enough on the 280. Let's move over to the, the 80 grit. Let's move over to 220. All right, there we go. We're getting the light here. Got it ground down to the line. Now it's not going in a bezel, so we're not fitting a bezel here. So now we're going to 280, and I'll take the scratch marks from the 220 off. All right. We're all ready to go here. Got the dot pot heating up. We'll put a dot stick on it, and then we'll make a cabochon out of it. Okay, we're all dopped up here. Hopefully this one will stay on the stick and behave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind me in a girdle here, a flat spot on the bottom. It's probably not going to be any thicker than this here. It's kind of misshapen on this side here. I'm going to go all the way around, and then when I get that, I'm going to start cutting into that at about a 45-degree angle, working my way to the center here. Now it's kind of broke away here, but I think we're okay. I think the curve will nicely fit into that. So let's start grinding here. Okay, I think that'll work. Got the grind in right there. The top's kind of rough, so I won't be able to. I just kind of took the top off. So now I'm going to start doming it. All right, I think we got her there. I had to cut a little lower because I had some load spots in the back here, but I think we're good now. So I got like the girdle, the height's good. So we're going to take it on the 220 grit and take the scratches out from the 80 grit. All right, got that. Starting to look pretty good. So we're going to move over to 280. Wow, that's looking pretty good. So I think we're good there. Like the way it looks. Going to move you over to the polishing side. So stand by. Okay, we're on the polishing side here, and I'll start out with the 600, the 1200, the 3000, and then I got a cerium oxide disc around the corner. So let's hit it with some 600 and see what we get. Okay, looking good. Moving on to the 12. All right, now we're going to move on to the 3000. All right, I'm really curious on this one too. Find a dry paper towel here. That's not, that's okay. Let's hope that I can get a good bump on the cerium oxide on this. All right, I'm going to shut you off again. Okay, we're over here on the cerium oxide. Got my splash guard in place. Let's see if we can put a little more shine on this thing. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see what we got here for a shine. Ah, we had success. Kind of like that. That's a lot better than what it's starting out. So the cerium oxide did well for us. So I'm going to take this upstairs, throw it in the freezer, and then we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, got a clean, nice clean break off the stick. Got a really neat looking green cabochon here. Let's take a closer look at it. All right, we got this nice pretty green rock here, this jade. Buddstone jade. Got a lot of kind of subtle patterns in there. Got the green is just awesome on this. It's just like almost neon green. So here's the back. Here's the front. So they said it was 7.5 on the Mohs scale, and I think it was probably a little softer than that. I just, you know, you look up these Mohs. Mohs, if anybody wants to know, is a hardness scale for rocks, maybe it's for everything, but for rocks, it's 1 through 10. 10 being a diamond, which is the hardest thing on earth, to 1 probably being a chunk of sandstone or chalk or something like that. So this is 7, which is, you know, up there for hardness, but you know, when I was grinding it on the cab machine, it was not that hard. I could tell. So, but it still made a beautiful cab. And yeah, I just kind of liking it. So I think this will end up on my Etsy store eventually. I'll put a bail on it. I'm not going to put a bail on today. The bail will go up here on the top. So yeah, nice looking rock. Well, I hope you like watching me make a cabochon out of that Buddstone, where I took a piece of this and I made this to this. And I think it come out pretty good. You know, A+, not bad. So I'd like to thank the Doris out there in Pennsylvania for providing this rock for me. I hope you enjoyed the video of me taking that rough stone and making a cabochon out of it. I'd like to thank my subscribers out there. The subscriptions keep edging up, and I like it. I like it a lot. And it, you know, not that I want the numbers, you know, I want the numbers, but it just shows me that people are liking my content and clicking and coming on board so they can see more of it. Really appreciate it. So if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Click down below here. It's free. And slide over, give me a thumbs up. That gets the analytics out there so more people can find the content. And ring the bell. That gives you notification when I put new videos out, and share it with your friends and family. And then there's some kind of hyper thing or something like that. Like I said, I keep telling everybody I'm going to figure it out, but I haven't figured it out yet. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed this video or got some information out of it. That's all I got. I'll catch you later.